Hey y'all, it is Tangi here, and you have just arrived to another episode of Tangi Unplugged. So it's been a minute. I have been going through a lot of different things, but trust me, everything is working out the way that it's supposed to. I did get a chance to have a little breather and go to Miami last week, which was much needed. I love Miami. I do not like all of the wildlife. I do not like having to look out for all the reptiles and amphibians. But beyond that, I had a great time. Got sunburned really, really bad. I'm look today and I'm peeling now. So it's that peeling, scaly look that I hate, but nothing that some good old shea butter can't fix, right? So enough of that. I hope all of y'all have been well. And this episode today with TNG Unplugged is one that I've been waiting on for a good little minute. And so let me set this up for you. I watch YouTube more than I ever watch anything else. I don't even turn my TV on much anymore. It's generally I'm watching the things on YouTube for whatever reason. And after I had gone through, and I say after because you really never, in my opinion, get over it or get through it. It's just like being an alcoholic, I guess, when you deal with someone that's heavily, have heavy narcissistic tendencies or a full-blown narcissist, depending where they land on the scale. But after going through that situation, I tend to look out in social media for folks of the same feather, people who have gone through it, people who can give some sound information about it, because everybody's out here talking about this shit, right? But you got to be careful about who you're getting your information from. And so lo and behold, after all the books I've read, after all of the different influencers that I've checked out, I landed on this man that you see on our screen right now, Mr. Leon Walker Jr. And I'm going to let him tell you about his life, about what he shares now. But I can tell you that when I first landed on his videos and start hearing the information directly from someone who is dealing with this, it was the greatest wake-up call I've ever had in all of my searching for support, for guidance, for insight on why I dealt with this, why this person moves the way that they do, and just to help me connect the dots. Because if you've been through this shit, you already know that connecting the dots is the hardest thing to do because there's no rhyme or reason. But without further ado, I want to welcome Mr. Leon Walker Jr. to the show. Hello, Leon.
Good morning, Tangi. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing good now. I'm doing good now. I finally got you. This is a
Right.
highly anticipated show. I've been telling everybody I've got him. I've got him. They're like, how did you land that? And I'm like, it was easy. I reached out, I asked, he obliged, and here we are.
That's it. I tell people, a lot of people say, well, I didn't believe you were going to answer your phone. You got your number up there. I didn't think you were going to respond to my email. I'm like, yeah, some people I get back too late because there's so many people I got to catch up to. And then I got DMs and emails, all this stuff. So I'm going to always respond. It may take a little bit, but I never tell people, no, I don't.
Well, I'm glad because we need you in these streets, honey.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
need you in these streets because you are giving us the game, like for real, for real. You are
Yeah.
letting us know the things that we've been needing to know or we couldn't see. So, Leon, tell the people who you are.
All right. Good morning. I'm Leon Walker Jr. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I served 32 years in the Navy. I was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder many years ago. I hid it. I was married for 12 years. I destroyed my marriage. I destroyed every relationship I was ever in. I have 3 kids. I was tough on my kids. I was hard on my kids. I gave my kids the silent treatment. All these things y'all talking about now, the gaslight, the ghosting, the silent treatment, the shunning. I was doing that in the 80s. Didn't even realize what I was doing. Didn't know that there was titles to it, but I was doing it. I retired from the Navy in 2015. I now speak about narcissism. I speak about relationships and mindset and getting past obstacles. But this narcissism has like taken over that, because I was doing a lot of speaking to youth groups and high school stuff. I'll go back to that too, but this has taken over. So this is what I do now to help people. And I'm an author of 3 books. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been in Chicago off and on since 2000. And, I just enjoy people. I enjoy running, exercising, eating great food, and comedy. I enjoy my family too, still working on some issues with that. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell, pretty much, Tangi.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And so I'm trying to figure out where to start, because I have all these notes here, but I just need to go for it. So you mentioned silent treatment, you mentioned the ghosting, all of which, I know I've experienced and many others have experienced. So my question to you is, describe to us where you fall on that scale of narcissism, because from what I've been told, Leon, and what I've read is that, everybody has some level of narcissism to some degree, but that some just go off on a very deep scale of it. And there's so many different types. So, I know that you've been in therapy for it. Did they explain to you or tell you where you fall on the spectrum, or?
So what happens is they really don't. It's kind of strange, but I never volunteered to go to therapy. The first 2 times I went, I failed, and I don't even remember why I went.
Wow.
But I started reading my medical record. I'm like, I don't remember going to talk to the psychotherapist. I didn't even know what a psychotherapist was. And so I went and talked to her. Don't know why. I was a senior person in the military. And then I left her office after 18 minutes. I went back months later, talked to a psychiatrist, and was in her office for 50 minutes, and it was very rude and disrespectful. And these are professional women with PhDs, right? I didn't care. I was probably jealous, or probably either jealous or intimidated. And so I'm like, I'm a senior leader. I don't need to be in your doggone office, lady. Who the hell you think you're talking to? And I'm like, I would walk out like on purpose to hurt their feelings. And because some psychiatrists, psychotherapists, they take their job seriously. Let's just say all of them. Okay, we know what happens, but the ones I dealt with, they take the job seriously. And so I was rude on purpose, and I knew that if I go in there and act like I didn't want to be there, it would be disrespectful and probably hurtful to them, which it was. So they were women. And so I was the type of guy, I'm not going to let any woman tell me anything. I don't care if she's a psychotherapist, psychoanalyst, whatever.
Right.
I don't need to be here. At this time, I was at a job that employed 42,000 people, and I was the 3rd person in charge. So I'm like, I don't need to be here. I was very successful in the military. I was making over 6 figures. I was making 6 figures. I was single, still cocky, arrogant, self-centered, egotistical, all of that. And I'm like, I don't need to be here. I got my own place, I got my own benefits, got my own job, got my own clean bill of health, good looking guy. I was very tangible. I was off the chain, let's say that. So anyway, I was 46 years old at the time. But then I went back in January 2015 because it was my retirement was contingent upon completing therapy. In the military, if you go to therapy for anger management, if you go to therapy for domestic violence, you go to therapy for child abuse, porn abuse, you have to complete those classes, that therapy, you have to complete it. And so when I went back in 2015, she's like, oh, wow, Mr. Ward, you're going to need, what does she call it? Intensive inpatient care.
What?
So I looked at her like, still, and so they look in your medical record, they know that you've been diagnosed, because once you go in there, it don't matter if you were diagnosed 15 years ago, your medical record, they have to go through and see what's going on.
Right.
So she saw everything, but for some reason, they don't just come out and say. It happened when I got diagnosed. It was with a male back years ago, and I was in his office because another event had happened in 1987, and I was sent then to go see a psychiatrist. And then they diagnosed me. I got out the Navy. I left. I was like 22, almost 23 years old, and so I ran from the Navy. And I loved the Navy. And I was in California with a girlfriend. And before I went in the Navy, I had this thing in my mind. People were telling me my mother was crazy. My father said my mother's crazy. My family, my friends. and it hurt my feelings. So now he's telling me I got a personality disorder. I thought I was crazy too. And so I got out the Navy, went back to Cleveland, and sat around for 77 days. And the Navy recruiter called me back. He said, "Hey, man, you want to come back in?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know if I can." I didn't want to tell him about my personality disorder. I thought it was going to be disqualifying, but it wasn't. It never came up again. They never asked me about it. So I went back in the Navy in March of 1988, and I stayed for 28 years without any type of therapy, no talk therapy. And on top of that, I went another 27 years with undiagnosed PTSD. Didn't even know that I had PTSD, had no idea. They found a narcissist, the narcissism personality disorder, but nothing else was found. I guess back then, because I think they started talking about narcissism back in like 1980 or something like that. But anyway, got my diagnosis. They don't tell you, a lot of times they don't even say whether it's covert, malignant, overt, a communal, antagonistical. You going through that talk there, but they're trying to help you. And then when I found out, look at my medical record, severe, I'm trying to think of other terms. I do remember this. She said that my therapy will be indefinite. So narcissistic people, sociopaths, psychopaths, the therapy is indefinite. I know this for me, narcissistically speaking. And I didn't even know that. I didn't listen to this. I didn't find out that I'm supposed to be in therapy indefinitely until like 2 years ago when I started reading my medical record.
Damn.
So they don't tell you these things, okay? So when I went for my retirement physical in 2015, the psychiatrist misdiagnosed my PTSD. They didn't even find it. So they treated me for anxiety. There's no pills for narcissism. There's talk therapy. So I was doing that. And then they gave me pills for anxiety and depression, but they didn't treat me for PTSD. And I went back in 2018 because something else, another event happened. And my friend said, "Man, go back to the hospital." So I checked in and they apologized. They said, "Well, aside from narcissism and anxiety and depression, we see that you've had your talk therapy and it's continuing, but you haven't been back in a while." At that time, it was for like 4 years. But we misdiagnosed your PTSD. We didn't even find it, Mr. Walker, and we apologize. And they gave me $10,000 instead of me suing the government, which I don't know if you can or not. They paid me for that. So yeah, it's like they don't like tell you straight out. You kind of like for some reason they ease it in and they talk about the traits, and you got 8 traits, you got 9 traits, you got 4 traits, you got 5 traits. And I think it's very easy for people to be diagnosed with narcissism if they just sit there and tell the truth. So the first 2 times I didn't tell the truth. I didn't even stay there long enough to get diagnosed. With them, I didn't have to, but they wanted to have further discussions, and I didn't want to have further discussions. I was already diagnosed. I was ready to retire, is my point. And so I was just going to retire and go on with life. But I had to sit down and go through therapy because it was contingent upon my retirement being completed.
You were just trying to get through so you can be out.
Right. But I like this therapist. I didn't walk away from her like the other 2. And so that's when it started. I got my help. I got my talk therapy. I started attending classes. I was doing homework. It was a lot of work, Tangi. It was a lot of work. So they don't normally tell you exactly like the scale. They'll talk about it, and you see, because I think they don't want to just freak people out, and then you start reading about it. But it helped me out to have talk therapy as she talked about my avoidance issues, as she talked about my lack of empathy, and we talk about not being able to love, and we talk about not being able to forgive. Those were things that I was willing to talk about. I wasn't willing to talk about, but as I talked about it, I became more comfortable to talk about everything. So when I walked in her office, she's like, listen, young man, I'm not going to hurt you. First thing out of her mouth. And so I dropped my guard then. I was ready to talk. And I was like, wow. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, I see you kind of like thinking people are going to hurt you. She read me well. Wow. And so everybody up to her, all the women I was involved with or talking to or around, or if they were attracted to me, they all like were fearful of me. So
Why?
they became guarded, they became sheltered, they became off-putting, but they were still attracted to me. And so I had an upper hand because I could sense when a woman feared me. But she didn't. And so she didn't fear me, allowed me to open up and be vulnerable to her. I was never going to be vulnerable to anybody.
See, wow. Okay. So she read you right from the rip.
Right
And
from the
and
rip.
do you think, because I know I follow you so closely, so I know, some of your history, which I'll let you talk about. Did that take you to when she said to you, "I'm not gonna hurt you"? Do you feel that subconsciously that took you to a place where you were that child that went through the abuse that you went through, that you were trying to see that this was a safe space for you?
Yeah, so I didn't have, so here's the thing. When you hear the word discard, right? You've heard discard, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You've heard silent treatment, right?
Oh yeah.
I was getting that as a child.
Mm.
So automatically as an adult, I'm thinking, not my therapist, but, and not you, but my ex, she's going to discard me one day. She's going to give me the silent treatment, because if my mother gave it to me and it feels like this, and if this woman gives it to me, it's going to hurt too. I don't want that pain. So I was always guarded. I was always protective, overprotective. I was always standoffish. I was always off-putting, but I was always attracted to women. I lusted for women. I was deeply in like into women, but I was always like apprehensive. So that caused the lack of wanting to love. That caused a lack of empathy, because I'm not going to emotionally connect to you, because I know what happens if I emotionally connect to you. I'm going to like you. I'm going to probably get it deep into you like my mother, and then you're going to leave me. And I became hard. Like, I don't want the love. I don't want to hold your hand. I don't want to get close to you, because it always remind me of my mother, what she done to me. And in therapy, we talked about my mother for probably a week for sure. And a lot of clarity and awareness came to me why I acted the way I acted towards women. Is because it was through my mom, the absence of my mother. My mother started smoking crack in 1985 and she was gone. She smoked crack until 2011. So she didn't see any of my career. I would go home to Cleveland with my trophies and my plaques and want to show my mother, and she wouldn't be around. She wouldn't be there. Or if I did find her, I found her in the crack house. I'm like, look, ma, I won Sailor of the Year. And she would look at my trophies and like, I'm
Oh,
trying, I'm trying to get high. And so that that just compounded my emotions. So I kept suppressing and suppressing and suppressing. And I that lack of love just was, I was okay with not loving. I was okay with not having empathy, because why should I show you or tell you anything about me if what you think or if you care, it doesn't matter to me, because my mother didn't care. So why should you matter to me if you care or not? It doesn't have an impact on me, because I don't have that caring emotion from my mother. I tell women this goes back to childhood.
mm.
So I'm trying to get back to what your question was about. What is what's question again?
Was that when she let you know that it was safe?
Right,
Like, did it like put you back to that?
it did. Okay, and so when she said that, I was like, because not one woman had, at the time I was 46, not one woman had ever said, I'm not going to hurt you. So in my mind, if you're not saying that, that means you're going to hurt me eventually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to be emotionally unavailable, or I'm going to hurt you so much that you're going to still love me and you're not going to want to walk away from me, because you know that I'm damaged and you know that I'm damaging you, but I'm not damaging you on purpose. I'm damaging you because I have childhood issues. So you can see beneath the surface. Women are nurturing, so they never walked away from me, even though they knew I was cheating. They knew I was verbally abusive, which became being mentally abusive. Women still was like, well, that's not really Leon. That's the little boy. That's the little boy that was hurt
Wow.
by his mother. I didn't hurt Leon, so he's taking it out on me. Leon likes me because we do make love. So she's like, okay, man, Leon, we made love, and but now you like act like you don't even know me. I had women tell me, Leon, you know, last night we had sex and it was passionate, and today I don't even know who you are. They were right, because I was making sure that the sex was on point. I didn't care about nothing else. I had to emotionally disturb her from within so that she couldn't walk away from me, because I had to be the one to walk away first. So that's why outside of the bedroom, there was no cuddling, there was no holding hands, there was no hugging.
Wow. You killing
Yeah,
me. You fucking me up.
yeah. And so outside the bedroom, I wasn't interested in anything, but I was still in a relationship. You know why I stayed in a lot of the relationships I did? Well,
Wow.
two reasons. First of all, she was never the only one.
That part.
Second of all, I didn't want anybody else to have her. I knew when Tangia always had good women. Women always took care of me, even the ones that I weren't dating. At work, women want to do this and bring me cookies and salads and pasta to work. They were just attracted to me. But I loved it. You know why? I loved it because it was a nurturing feeling that I didn't get from my mother.
Mm.
So I tell women, I don't care if he's 6'8", 250 pounds, good looking guy, very successful, making six figures. If he's got an issue with his mother, you're going to have an issue with him.
You don't even understand how you oh my God. Because
And women,
I'm listening to this shit and I'm hearing I dealt with the lack of empathy, the lack of not being emotionally available. Um
that's where it stems from. And women like, I got this manly man, you know, he can fix cars, he can clean the gutter. You know, he's caring, he's protective, he makes six figures. But Leon, sometimes he's just very, very absent. I
distant.
don't know who this, he's distant. I don't know who this man is. He got issues with his mother. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me when you can sit down and talk to a psychotherapist, a psychiatrist. They don't talk about this guy's mother. You never get any answers. But as soon as they bring up his mother, but 95% of the time, that's where the issue lies.
So the no, because I'm gonna give the world the game about me.
Mm-hmm.
Outside all of this, I am a very, very strong A-type personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a beast. I'm a go-getter. I live my life by my own code. There's not a single soul in the world that can tell me what the fuck to do.
Right.
I do take wise counsel, but you're just not. I'm an Aquarius. I'm a free spirit. There are no holds barred for me.
Aquarius are very loving too, though.
We are. And that's the other piece of it,
Mm-hmm.
is that beyond all of this, we're big, mushy teddy bears.
Mushy. My ex-girlfriend's an Aquarius.
We are. We are
But
big, and all we want is to feel that love. And we
mm-hmm.
want that to be demonstrated.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest thing that I've ever dealt with in my entire life, because, and I was making all of those excuses. I was making the excuses, you know, they're old fashioned. This is just the way that they do the things. It's not me, it's something else that he's dealing with. I went through all of that and I lost myself while dealing with that individual. I lost who I was innately. I saw myself change.
Right.
And so when you sit there and you say that it stems from something was amiss at childhood, I'm thinking about things that I know, conversations that I know of with their parents and siblings, and it's really driving it home for me. What did you go through in your childhood?
So I'll finish up what I was talking. It's only a few seconds, but She
Yeah.
took me back. She took me back to my childhood, and where I was always felt unsafe around people, especially women. And then now it's like, okay, she says she's not going to hurt me. All right, let's talk. Boom. So that's when I got comfortable with her. I never opened up to my ex-wife didn't find out about my narcissism until last year.
Mm.
And I was married to her
Mm.
for 12 years, and I had been divorced from her for 15 years. She didn't know until I started talking about it in 2021. I'm sorry. So anyway, I felt good about keeping it a secret from everybody. I felt good about keeping my childhood from women, because if I told them, they're going to judge me. So my childhood is my two female cousins. The first people I fell in love with were my two female cousins because they molested me. The second lady I fell in love with, the second women I fell in love with were, I was 7, and they were the women in porn. White women, Asian women, Latin women, Black women. My brother had me watching porn. It was no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
When I got married, I was still watching porn as if it wasn't no big deal. My ex-wife was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what am I doing? This is porn. You don't like porn?" So that divided us sexually. My babysitter is the third woman I fell in love with because she took my virginity at 8. So here I am being molested by my cousins, learned how to kiss. They always kept their tongue in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching porn, and I knew what to do to women. And my mother would catch me around the house, always humping on pillows and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
humping on
Mm-hmm.
the floor. Yeah. And then my babysitter, we used to play house, and
Mm-hmm.
I became a dad at a young age, and then having unprotected sex back then in the 70s. That was no big deal. And
Mm-hmm.
she was older than me, so she's like 6, 7 years older than me. So I was very sexually aware by the time I was 8 years old. And then I had my first threesome in the 6th grade. I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friend and a girl that was in the 5th grade, and then we did it for months. And then I was bullied by an uncle. I was bullied by just an uncle, and so I developed anger issues. I developed a high sex drive. I developed the ability to navigate around a woman's body all before I was 11 years old.
Mm.
So little girls that were my age that were wearing training bras didn't do anything for me.
Couldn't do anything for you.
No. So I was attracted to older women because of the porn, and because my brother had drilled a hole in my mother's bedroom wall adjacent to the bathroom. So when my mother had birthday parties, we heard the women come upstairs. We would go right to the hall, and I would look, and I could see them getting undressed. I saw voluptuous Black women with hairy vulvas. I saw everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so I became, so there was a lot of shifts for me in my childhood. I became addicted to older women. I became addicted to pale white women. I became addicted to heavyset women. I became addicted to women that had hairy armpits.
Mm-hmm.
I became addicted to brown skinned women because they started dominating. My cousins and my babysitter were brown skinned. Then I became addicted to dark women because I had this girl that used to dominate me when I was 15. She used to make me come to her house, cook me a steak, have sex with me. She would snort cocaine and didn't send me home for like a year. So all my relationships were based on sex. If it wasn't about sex, I'm going to leave. I'm going to cheat. I'm looking for that euphoric feeling that I got from my babysitter. I was chasing that feeling. I was chasing a high for my entire life, and nothing would stop me from cheating. If you're not sexual and we're in a relationship, I'm going to find sex somewhere. And
Right.
so those shifts, then I became scared of dark skinned women. Then I became scared of brown skinned women. Brown skinned girls, I was 15, she was 14, gave me gonorrhea. And I'm like, man, this is what's going on. I couldn't stop it, Tangi. And then I worked for a lady that ran an after hour joint. I was 15. And so I became attracted to her. So she had parties. I would go over there every weekend and clean up after the parties. She'd be in there at 7 o'clock in the morning snorting cocaine. And I would look at her. She would be like scantily dressed. I could see through her dress. And she was older, like 35, 40 years old. I was 15 at the time. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
little boy, what you staring at? You're supposed to be over here working for me. And I'll go back to work. And so I was making money from her. I had this powerful urge of sex, and so I started buying prostitutes at 15.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's my childhood, and then I never got help. I should have been in therapy at 5 or 6 years old, but instead I pushed through life. I pushed through my parents' divorce. I pushed through bullying. I became a bully. I became a whoremonger. Became very promiscuous. Then I joined the military, and I became who you talking to now without therapy. I became this international lover. So I became very verbally abusive, mentally abusive, and it went on for probably 30 years, at least.
I have to commend you for sharing that. There's a lot of us, myself included, who went through a lot of the things that you even mentioned, but would never, be as open as you. And so I just have to give you your flowers for you to share that, because as you're talking, I'm going through the recesses of my mind and some of the things that I know, some of the things that I experienced, some of the things that I know others experienced, friends, family, and the whole nine. And now I look at our lives and how we move and how we function in relationships and see the impact of what these things we went through, how it impacts how we move, and how we operate in relationships, or the lack of being able to be as productive as we probably could be if we had gotten the help sooner. And I know that there's a lot of these things that go undetected, unhandled, just not even, there's sometimes just no protection for us. And we have to deal with these things because a lot of, especially in the Black community, asking for help on something like this, it just was unheard of. Asking for any type of, it was just taboo. And so you were forced to have to kind of deal with it. And then it's that other thing of, you keep your damn mouth shut, yada, yada, yada. So at what point did you feel like that you wanted to begin sharing your story as a narcissist to the world via social media? What got you to this point?
So it started off in 2018 when this pastor was like, he heard my story, he interviewed me, and he said, "Why don't you write a book?" And I'm like, "What?" So 2018, I wrote my first book and published it, called Broken. And you can, as people read the book, they're like, "Man," people contact me like, "Man, I thought you were dead. I thought you were in jail." That was the beginning of me starting to open up, because the pastor said, "Hey, tell your story to people." And before that, I was like, "I'm telling nobody none of this." And so I did the book tour and stuff, and then went on, TV and radio and podcasts. And then in 2021, I met a lady, beautiful lady. She's far, far away from here. I went to see her. We talked. It first started off me giving her advice on relationships. Then we became attracted to each other. And then she's like, "Leon," she's in the medical field, so she knew about narcissists. She said, "I know you're narcissist, and you're not gonna tell me." I was like, so like, here we go. I knew that was the beginning of the end for that. She told me, "So look, I can't date you anymore. I'm falling in love, and you're gonna hurt me." And she's right. So she backed up off me. And first I got upset. I was about to go back into my stalking, because I did stalk a woman in 1992, 1991. And so I started to like, if I stalk her, I gotta go back to where she is. It's too far, it costs too much. I ain't doing it. So I wasn't practicing what I learned in therapy. So I was in therapy for a year. I tell people, just because you're in therapy doesn't mean you're gonna be fine. I wasn't fine when I got out of therapy. My therapist told me to stop dating, leave women alone. I'm like, that's like telling me to stop eating rib tips,
Right.
So chicken wings and watermelon.
Just cut out dating, like no intimacy
Yeah.
whatsoever.
And so,
Leon.
so she said, my ex-girlfriend said, "Why don't you just do videos and help people?" I'm like, "Okay." So I did a video and it went viral. And she found it. She's like, she saw it. She's like, "Leon, why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "You knew." She's like, "Yeah, I knew." But so I got real deep in my videos. I do. Women hear narcissism, they say, like, he ghosted me, he love bombed me, he's giving me signs for him. But I went real deep in the first video, and it blew her away. And she's like, and so I kept doing videos, and every time I do a video, she'd call me. You need to warn me before you post a video, Leon. I'm following you on TikTok. I can't take this."
She can't take what?
the videos because it's too scary, because she was dating a narcissistic person. As I'm talking about these videos, we had broke up, but she claimed that she was ready to see the videos because I said, well, you the one told me to do the videos, because without her, I wasn't going to do the videos. I was just going to, we break up, I go find another girlfriend, hopefully get married, die, and go to heaven. But I wasn't prepared for a relationship until I started doing videos, because people were coming at me. They would come back. They were like, Leon, you triggered me. Leon, I hate you. You need to go to hell. I'm like, man, what does this come? I'm trying to help y'all. But I was triggering to people because the videos are very creepy, Tangi. And I didn't make them creepy on purpose. I was just going into character. And then women were like, can you do another video? I like when you go into character. It really helps me. I'm like, but y'all don't understand. When I do go into character, I'm deep into it. I'm reliving what I'm talking about. But it was draining, Tangi. So I switched it up from being in character to just talking about narcissism. And so she's like, Leon, I can't. I unfollowed you. This is my ex. I unfollowed you. I can't take it. I don't want to hear your voice anymore. I don't want to see your videos. So I'm like, all right. So she had her girlfriends they had the little flying monkeys get on social media like, Leon ain't nothing. He's got a demonic spirit. You know, he broke my girlfriend's heart. And they didn't know the whole story. She broke up with me. But I'll be honest with you, I was probably about to break up with her, but she called it out. She got me first, and I'm like, cool. Because I liked her, but I was like, she had a lot of issues. I was still projecting and deflecting, but I had a lot of issues too. And so she's the one started me doing the videos. And then her girlfriends were on social media like, why are these women following this guy? He's no good. He's demonic. You know, he did that. I didn't do things to her. I was probably verbally abusive. I said some things to her during our relationship, and I was like, man, why did I say that? But I was trying to get her to chill, and because she was getting real aggressive with me, because she's very intelligent. And so we started fighting. So my narcissism started coming out again. I started being insecure and angry and verbally abusive. And she's like, look, Leon, I can't take this. So she started calling me more and more each day, 5 times a day, 6 times a day. And I'm like, you're a nurse. Why are you calling me so much? And I started getting, so my anger started coming out. And then she stopped trusting me. And I'm like, you know what? F this, blah, blah. And it ended. And then she started attacking me on social media a few times, and then kind of went away. She had family members call me, and it just ended. So that's when it started in June of 2021. And November 2021, I took a break because the videos were going viral. People were contacting me. I was getting called names, and I just couldn't handle it, Tangi. I couldn't. I'm a strong man, but I had never put myself out there like that and didn't have people attack me without saying anything, without cursing people out, without flipping people off.
Right.
So I just took it, and I took a break from November 2021 to December 2021, and I did another video. And Mary, the singer, the gospel singer, she reposted, it went viral. And then Beyonce's mother, Miss Lawson, reposted and it went viral. And so people like, man, where you been? We need your help, Leon. I'm like, okay. So from December 2021 to now, I've been constant because I got used to the onslaughts and the insults and stuff. And I'm like, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna
So
happen.
that was a growing time for me. It was an awakening moment for me, and I didn't run anymore. So here we are.
Incredible. I want to talk about signs of, for us, I want to go into where you do what you do best, which is let us know what to look out for and how to respond to this. And as you talk in your videos, again, you're talking in first person. Because like now it's code word out in the space. Oh, that's a Leon. That we know that is straight up a narcissist. Me and my girls have done it. Like, girl, have you talked to him? Yeah, but he's a Leon, baby. I can't do it.
Right.
And so it is you are a thing out there. And I appreciate that, because we don't have to just say the N-word. We say, oh, that's just Leon, and we know covertly what that means. And so what I want to ask you, first of all, I want you to go into that energy of the narcissist that you were diagnosed to be. When you are looking for your supply, what type of woman stands out to you? As an empath, I think I have a sign over my head that says, hey, Leons, come over here, you're welcome. which I'm certainly trying to work on. But how do you target your supply?
So narcissistic people like myself are very flirtatious. I don't go into that person because it's real easy. Narcissistic people, I was a very good listener. So I'm a very good watcher too. So I'll watch a woman if I'm in the mood to have sex, or if I'm in the mood to play, if I'm in the mood to attract her, because I love women being attracted to me. It stroked my ego, made me feel good. So I'm always show up dressed decently, well-groomed, smelling good, speaking well, teeth gonna be clean. Because in that narcissistic mind, I'm always looking for supply. Not anymore, because I want one woman. I don't want to smoke anymore. But then, Tangi, I had a lot of courage. I had a lot of nerve. I didn't fear anything about women getting caught cheating, getting caught lying, because I'm gonna talk my way out of it. Then we're gonna go have a great meal. Then I'm gonna rub your hands and rub your shoulders, and then we're gonna kiss and have sex, and you can get over it. Then I'm gonna leave for a couple of days, come back. Just a breadcrumbing. So my thing was to listen to what you're saying, watch your body language, listen to your background, your life story, whatever you're talking about. Watch you, and then watch you watch me. I know that you're looking at me. I knew when women, I could get up and walk away thinking like they're not looking at me. And if I know that you watch me, and if I'm attracted to you, it starts there. I'm gonna hang around, I'm gonna come around, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna flirt with more than one woman. In case you don't like me, or in case you are afraid of me, or in case you're married. I didn't care about any of that. No meant yes to me. I didn't force anything on women, but I didn't like rejection. And I hardly ever got rejected. If I got rejected, I'm going to get her, and then I'm going to hurt her, and then I'm going to reject her just because she rejected me. I'm not the guy to reject. You can reject that ugly dude over there, or that fat dude. That's how you should think. I know that you rejected me because I had to make myself feel like she was afraid of me, or I was too much, or she knew that she couldn't handle me. So I had to soothe my own pain. But then I'll go back and try to get her. And if I got her, it sucked to be her at that time. So I'm gonna play games. I'm gonna gaslight you. I'm gonna ghost you. I'm gonna breadcrumb you. I'm gonna love bomb you. I'm gonna give you a side chick. I did this stuff for years, Tangi, and it was automatic. It was very, very simple because, like I said, I was a great listener and I was very flirtatious. It don't matter if you were white, Asian, Latin, Black, Puerto Rican, Aboriginal. It didn't matter. If I saw two things about you, I was attracted to you, I'm gonna get to you some kind of way. Girlfriend or not, wife or not, it didn't matter. Because every time I got a woman, I conquered her and I got bored after I conquered her. So I wanted the next woman. And if she cut her eyes at me a certain way, if she had on lipstick like my babysitter, if she had on lip gloss like my cousins, if she had certain features or traits, I'm gonna automatically be attracted to her. And if she ran away from me, I'm gonna chase until I conquer her. It was a thrill. The ones I got real easy, I got upset because I'm like, you too easy, you easy. You just want to be with me because of my status, my job, my looks. So you do the next guy the same way. So now I'm pissed because I got you too easy. I like a challenge. And if you weren't a challenge, that means you were open for everybody. And I'm special. In my world, I'm special in your world. So how can you just be so easily to come and get with me, just like you're gonna be easy to come get with the next guy? In my mind, she's comparing me to him. Now I'm pissed because she's trying to water me down. I'm Leon. I'm the best you've ever had. I'm the best you're gonna ever have. So the easy ones were the ones that I hurt first. The easy ones were the ones that were usually broken like me, dysfunctional, emotionally detached. So I'm going to dominate her because she's hurting just like me. She had a bad childhood just like me. Her parents were divorced too. And so those were the easy ones. Those were the ones that I have to be in control of everybody though. So we're going to eat, drink, smoke, fight, have sex, argue, and start over. And I was addicted to that until I found somebody else.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. And it was just that easy. It was just,
It just took me there. It just
yeah. And you know what though, Tangi, it was like they call it demonic spirit, and I call it now the Lucifer spirit. But it was very hard to stop. Even when women would cry and ask me why, I never had an answer ever.
and
I
that's the
didn't.
thing. It's that thing right there. You know, it's never getting the answers. It's never getting the answers. It's never getting a full-throated apology when you know you fucked up. When you know you fucked up. And I'm one of those people where, you know, I'm pretty easygoing if you admit you're wrong.
Right.
But
And I
it
never
was
did that.
impossible. And what I would hear is, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Or I'm sorry if that's how that makes you feel. In fact,
You know why they never admit their wrongdoing?
why? Why?
Because we're going to be punished. We were punished as a child when we admitted to being wrong. But now if I admit to being wrong to you, you're going to punish me. I don't want you to punish me. So I much rather lie and have you thinking what I did is what I did, but you're not sure. So I'm not going to tell you to make you sure. I'm not going to give you the answer. So you don't know how to punish me. So therefore you go, well, I can't punish them because I don't know if this is the truth or not. I didn't want you to know the truth because you're going to punish me. I did it. I tried it, and I told the truth, and it's like, and she would change. I'm like, see, and I'm saying to myself, I'll never tell you the truth again. It ain't gonna happen. I will never tell you the truth ever again. Would much rather lie to you.
So
That
is
made me
that
feel better, and I was more secure.
so is that the reason why there's a lack of accountability when you do things wrong?
Oh
Is that
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna admit to that. I knew what I did, but you think you know what I did, but you're not sure. But I'm sure, and I'm not gonna let you know that I'm unsure about what I did because I'm not gonna tell you that you know the truth. You think that the truth is my truth and it's a lie, but I'm not gonna tell you it's a lie. So I want you to think that you kind of like know what's going on, but you don't know what's going on for sure. You think it's a lie. You think you called me, but you don't know, so you can't do nothing about it. And I'm not going to tell you, right? I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to punish me. Because when you punish me, I don't know how to react. I lash out, I get loud, I get angry, I cry, I might cry, and I'm not going to show you that part of Leon. It's not going to happen. So you just have to deal with a lie, period. What you think is a lie, then yeah, I'm not going to tell you that it's a lie. I know this is a lie, but I want you to think that it's the truth. And if as long as I hold on to it, you'll never know. And that's what I
and
like.
not giving a damn that hurts me.
Don't don't care that it hurts. I'd much rather you be hurt than me. I don't know how to deal with hurt. You are a woman and deals and understands emotions. I don't. So I suppress them and I'm emotion detached. I don't want to cry like a little kid. I cried enough from age 5 to 11. I'm 57 now, or I'm 48 now, or I'm 35 now. I ain't crying no more. Sorry, Tangi. You go and cry. You wipe the little tears and we'll go eat, have sex, and get over it.
That get over it shit. That piece right there. The person actually said that to me after I called out what the bullshit was and couldn't run from it, because one thing about it, I'm gonna have it stacked up. It's gonna be irrefutable. But somehow, some way, that shit gets turned around where I'm questioning myself. Like, I know good in the fuck well. This happened as a result, this happened. That you did. And here's the proof.
I ain't do nothing. You think I did, but if you really believed that I did, you would have walked away.
You're killing me. You're killing me right now.
Yeah. That's how my mind worked. And I can go back to it easily, but I would much rather not do that. I don't want that. Because People say narcissistic people never change. You can change. You can work on it. It's hard. That's why I do these videos. It's like it holds me accountable.
And these videos are helpful for those of us who are on the other side of it, but are studying said individuals to see, now that this time has passed, have they changed? Have they grown from this? Did they get this, you know, now it's like almost like a science experiment for me.
It is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me, it's like a science experiment, because I'm like, all right, person said this, the person went and did this. I'm expecting for the response to be this. And then I sit,
Right.
wait, and I watch and I see. And
It's
then
a sign. It
Mhm.
is. Hold on. Let me get my charger, Tangi. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead. We're gonna pause and we're gonna come right back.
So you hit it right on the head. It's science. It is science. And that's why I talk about certain things the way that I do, because you all don't get the science behind it. I talk about the theory and being practical, but you don't get that. So that's how I talk, because it's a science, like you said.
Right, because I love that exercise that you and I just went through. All
It's
right.
real.
So let me ask you this, because you said something, and I'm gonna make a statement. I'm gonna make a statement, and I want you to tell me, is that something that a Leon would say? I'm responsible for what I say, not for how you feel.
Yeah, that's putting it off on you. I said this and you chose to be hurt. You chose to cry. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't say this to make you cry. I said this because this is what it is. I'm trying to help you. But since you want to cry, you want to stay hurting, that's on you. What I'm saying is not hurtful. You always want me to tell you the truth, Tangi. So I'm telling you the truth. And when I tell you the truth, you cry. You know, when you cry, you piss me off. So now I just want to make me mad because I'm telling you the truth. So now two things will happen. I'm gonna lie to you and I'm gonna be quiet. Now you get the silent treatment, Tangi.
Fuck you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. So deflection, people talk. So you talk about the science behind this. People always say deflection, you know, avoidance and gaslighting. But
Oh my God.
then when you hear it and you in it, it's even worse, because everything I just said is very painful and hurting. But how much, like I mentioned earlier, how much rather you hurt and cry than me. I'm not crying. I don't know how to deal with those issues. So I suppress them, I forget about them, they didn't happen, and oh well, get over it. You can cry, probably like your mother. I'm not gonna cry. My mother didn't cry.
Have you ever had a woman tell you that you're not a nice person, that you're mean? And if they did, what did you say and what did you do?
Yeah, I would say obviously you don't believe that. You might think that I'm a little mean, a little nice, but yeah, I could remind you of somebody in your family, but that's not me totally, because you're still with me. You probably have sex with me tonight. We're gonna eat dinner. You know, you laugh it off. You call me. She said I'm not nice. I'll show you what not nice is, and then you make a decision whether you want to stay with me or not. Or if I show you, then you say, well, yeah, you know, you're not. Yeah, you're not. I know you could do that, Leon. I know you can be that mean, but okay, so don't say it again. I'm being nice. This is who I am. Then you push my buttons, and I get pissed off. You asked for this, okay? And so now this is what you're gonna get. How you gonna tell me I'm not nice? We just did this. We did this, that. You know, it's like, are you being greedy? Are you trying to use me? Now I see a different person. You're not the same person I met 2 months ago or 5 months ago. Again, so I'm putting it back on her, because she hurt my feelings by telling me I wasn't nice. I know that I'm not nice, but I don't need to hear that. I don't want to hear anything negative about me. I can't stand. You got to tell me everything good about me. Everything. You tell me something bad about myself, I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna hurt your feelings. I'm gonna make you cry, and I'm gonna disappear for a few days until you get enough. I gotta punish you now, because I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to be right. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get better. You told me you want me to get better. Now I'm trying to get better, and you push me back on my heels. You put me down. See, that reminds me of my childhood. Now I got to go. Yeah. So now what you get is because you caused this. So now I won't be calling for a few days. But Leon, nope, click, hang up.
And won't pick up the phone when we try to call.
No, you gotta pay for that. You'll never do it again, and that's my goal, to train you the way I want you. So you know, Leon, how can you not talk to me for a few days? How can you call me mean?
Yeah, I swear it's like deja vu. You nailing it. And it's sad because when I think about it, I'm like, and I go in where I'm like, I feel like I'm stupid. Like, Tangela, you're not stupid, but not by any stretch. Why do we allow this? Why do we do this? Why do we keep giving the chances? What is it? I don't understand that piece.
Because you don't know the truth for sure, Tangie. I'm not giving you 100% truth. What you think is the truth is probably 30%. It's actually 100%. But the way I respond makes you feel like it's like 30%. So now you're like, well, maybe I am wrong. I'm never tell you that I'm wrong. That ain't gonna happen. I want you to feel like you're wrong. So either we move on or you never bring it up again. Either way, I'm gonna win. Or you just stop. You're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't care if you talk to your girlfriend, your mom, your aunt. I'll talk about them too. You trying to find out. They can't tell you about Leon. I'm your man. How you gonna ask somebody else about your man? So yeah, you're the one wrong, not me. You don't even know that you're right, but you're right. But I'm not gonna tell you that you're right because I want you to think that you're wrong. I can't handle being wrong.
How do you feel when they tell you that you're right? What does that do for you? That's the reason I'm going with this.
It makes me a totally different person. I have to feel like I'm right. You can get anything out of me when you do that. That's why I have to be careful with telling women about me. I don't mind now because I don't. She manipulates me. I understand. I see it. I got it. But it was a secret. I don't want to tell people, women, that how you make me feel because she would think that she had control and power over me, which she did. But if you tell me I'm right, you got to show me too. And you got to stick to it. Don't go back on your word. And a lot of women do that. They did it for me, and then they lost themselves. Then when I break away from them, walk away, disappear, and ghost them, they lose their mind.
So what are you doing when okay, I want to see both sides of this. What are you doing when you are giving the silent treatment? What are you doing when you're in that moment that you are not talking to your lady because you're making her pay? What is Leon doing with his spare time? What is Leon doing with his life? What is Leon doing in his thoughts?
A good chance of being with somebody else. Because she's not going to call me. She's not going to text me. She's not going to wonder. She's going to wonder where I am. She's going to want to call and text. She knows if you do that, the silent treatment is going to be extended. Yeah, Tangi, that was one of the worst things I did with silent treatment. Besides cheating, this silent treatment was one of the worst. So I'm gonna come and go like I'm not even in a relationship. I come in the house, I won't speak. I cook me something to eat. I know you want to cook me something. I'm gonna eat. Or I'll come in the house after being gone all day and I don't eat, and I'm knowing you wonder who fed me.
I'm thinking about my dad when I used to, bless you, when I used to go on punishment because they're like, whooping Tan, that doesn't work. Taking her phone out of her room because I had my own. I was a spoiled little brat. My parents gave me everything.
Yeah, the princess phone. My sister had one.
Yeah, and so they knew the way that they would get to me is take my phone out of my room, and I would get on best behavior. And the one thing that my dad used to say would be, "I'm going to take your phone out of your room, and don't you ask me when you're getting it back, because if you ask me, I'm extending the time longer." See, now that I'm older, I'm recognizing who was who the Leons were in my life. And I'm like, what a clusterfuck. Now
Right.
that I'm older and I'm going through it, and then it's just, but it's like, they keep coming. What do I need to do? Well, yeah, what do I need to do to have that sign that says, please don't come over here?
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You
So
have to. So I did a video. Matter of fact, I just posted a video on YouTube. I think you liked. It's two of them about selecting me, not being attracted to me. Why the hell you select me?
right.
And you got to look at that. But women say, why am I attracting these narcissistic men? No, why are you selecting them?
Right.
You know, when you saw me, you know, within 3 minutes, you knew you wanted something to do with me, something. And then, you know, we went out and we dated, but you didn't look for any red flags. You saw that I could speak well, you were attracted to me, I have my own vehicle, I don't live with my mama, I got a good job. You're like, oh, this Leon is gonna be okay. No, this Leon is rotten. Don't you dare. And then you do it.
Yeah.
And so so here's the thing with narcissistic men. When we first hook up, I'm gonna give you 100% to whereas you ain't gonna be able to walk away from me. You don't even want to go to work the next day. I'm telling you, I'm going all in. Whether it's just sex, conversation, massage, we in the kitchen cooking, we laughing, we watching comedy, we go to the mall real quick, we will get your favorite soup, we'll get some ice cream. Look, Sandy, all in one day, I was able to do that all day long. Yeah, because you ain't running away from me. I got you. This is Leon. And then at the end of the night, I'm gonna act like I don't want to have sex, but I want to have sex, but I'm gonna drop you off. Or you can spend the night, but we ain't having sex. I got to be in control of that. And then I may break you off before you go to work in the morning. Then fix you some coffee, go make you a little bacon egg sandwich, or go get you a sandwich, you know, take you to work, call you at lunchtime, bring you some lunch, whatever. Bring you back over or not. Most times, nah, I ain't trying to be with you right now. And you're like, Leon, damn. And now Leon has changed again. I could change just like that. Because my goal was to have a relationship. My goal was to have you as supply. I'm not trying to relate to you. And I became very evil, but not like hurting them, but hurting them.
And
And
you can be satisfied, have this feeling of satisfaction. And
oh yeah, quick. Once I know that I conquered you and you falling in love, you're falling, I'm at ease. There's no more work to be done. Depending on how much I liked you. If I really liked you and I was scared to commit, I'm not gonna hurt you that bad. I'm gonna hurt you, but I'm gonna hurt you that bad. I'm not gonna hurt you to where you don't want to ever see me again. You're gonna still like me, but then you're gonna start saying, "Well, Leon, there's something going on. What's wrong, Leon?" And I give you a sob story. Now your nurturing traits pop up, and you want to hold me and hug me and introduce me to your mother, and I don't want none of that. You cool, I like you, but I ain't gonna like you but so much. I enjoyed liking women. I enjoyed the like, but I was scared of the love.
scared of the love, so much to the point where you could you say the words "I love you"?
I said it, but it hurt like in the pit of my stomach. I didn't want to talk about it. And then if I didn't say it, my ex-wife told me, Leon, you hadn't said you love me in a long time. I was like, I didn't realize I didn't say it, but I didn't care to say it. I didn't care. Didn't care to say I love. Didn't want to hear it. Hated hearing it.
Why?
Because I didn't know what it meant. I'm like, why are you saying that? For what? Just be cool. Just, Leon, I really like you. I like that better. Leon, I like you, Leon. I like you a lot. I like that better. Don't tell me you love me. I didn't want to hear that because that means like, now it's like some type of commitment brewing. I don't want it. Now you force me to say I love you and I don't know how to say it. Now I'm getting pissed. We're not gonna talk about love. Okay. All right. Then she mentioned it again. I'm like, see, you don't listen. Boom, I'll leave. Silent treatment is meant to train you to be quiet.
Leon, I've got to have you back. I have to cut this off here because I already know what it's doing for me. And I just thank you. You don't even understand how this helps me. This is
I
so
get it.
therapeutic for
Yeah.
me.
I got you.
And I need to take this in doses. Like I take I cannot wait to put this out this weekend, this Friday. And I hope that you share it with your people too. I'm going to send you a copy of it.
Mhm.
But I have to have you come back. I'll give you some time. I know you got other things to do, this, that, and the other, but
No, you just let me know, Tangi, when you're ready.
I
I
just,
put you on my schedule and we just do it. I don't like to wait. I don't like to make people wait too long because when we have a lot, see, like when I do my videos, I got videos now that I haven't even posted to Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Like 9 of them. I post them on YouTube. I'm like, wait to post it. But I don't like to make people wait because I was doing 1 video a week, then I did 2 a day, then 1 every 3 days, 1 for. So I do a video every day, just about, because
yeah, you do.
I don't want to make people wait, because this video could save somebody's life. This video can get somebody out of a bad situation. This video can help a woman or a man find somebody that they really are attracted to, so, or be aware of somebody they're attracted to that's not good for them. So I don't wait. So whenever you're ready, you just let me know and we'll do it again.
Thank you. Because I think if I'm a betting woman, there are people who are watching this right now, watching this exchange that you and I had, which I was hoping that would come about. And probably having, if they've been through this, having some of the same feelings, and a reckoning is happening, is what I'm saying. It's a positive thing for me. It's a reckoning that's happening with me right now. And I know that there's no way in the world, with all the vast information and insight that you can give, and your delivery is so beautiful and effective, that I can't get this all in one show. What I do know is that I have to take the rest of the day to process this, so that I can use this information for me becoming and being better at being my best me, and not having to deal with these things hopefully ever again in life. So I thank you. I keep your I have it set up on my phone, so anytime you post anything, I'm alerted immediately. I'm it's just very, very good. I want to let the folks know how, or if you can let the folks know how they can connect with you. And I'm going to definitely have it in the write-up. But how can folks connect with you online, on social media?
Okay, so my website is www.leonrobertwalkerjr.com. They can Google me too. I have a lot of information out there about my retirement, about my books. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Leon R. Walker. It's probably as Leon Walker too. So there's other Leon Walkers out there, but my picture pops up. But yeah, if you go to Instagram and my link tree, I do 30-minute calls, like Tuesday through Thursday, free 30-minute calls. I missed some today, but actually rescheduled them because I shouldn't have scheduled them for the day. But yeah, my link tree on my IG, I do one-on-ones for free, 30 minutes. If they want to come back, which they do, we'll do another 30 minutes the next day or the next few days. But yeah, Google me, Leon R. Walker Jr., Leon Walker on all social media.
Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for just being what we need right now for all of us. It is a blessing to have you on this show, to have you in the space, to have you move like you move. I'm definitely bringing you back. You've given me a hell of a lot to think about. And I wish you all the peace and success and blessings that God and the ancestors can give you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tangi, for having me. Let's keep in touch too.
Of course, we got each other's numbers, so we'll
All
connect.
right.
If you need
All right.
anything from me, name it.
Okay. Same thing.
Okay,
Likewise. If you need anything, let me know.
I will, dear. Thank you.
All right.
All
Okay.
right, and
Bye-bye.
to everybody else, thank you, and I'll catch up with y'all later. Bye. I gotta go. That was deep. Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So deep.